Hi everybody, it's Kelly. Kind of covered in fuzz because I've been cleaning in my room, and yeah, I got fuzz and fairy moss and all kinds of stuff all over. I've been working nonstop on, well, can't even say that because I haven't really gotten much sleep either, on items that are going to go into my auction on August 4th, 2018. That's a Saturday. I put up a couple videos before about my auction, so check out my channel, check out my playlist, and you'll see why there's going to be an auction in the first place. Okay. It's for medical reasons. It's not just so I can go out and blow a bunch of money at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. My church is going to help on some, but I don't expect them, to pay for all of it. So I figured I've got a lot of things that I've been crafting that are kind of building up, and I love them all. I just don't have any place for them, I've got a graphic 45 hidden book I made. It's pretty big too. I've got my fairy tree house I made, and all of these I've done on videos. Okay, so almost everything you see that in my videos will most likely be in the auction, unless they were already given away or something. So like my domino art, I've got some canvas art. I've done videos on those. I've done videos on my dominoes. I've done videos on journals. I have a bunch of little mini journals and kind of a small journal, and then I've had some folks donate some stuff from my auction, which was really, really awesome. So those will be in there. I've got, I think it's about 30 journals altogether so far, plus some other handmade items that are absolutely beautiful, and honestly I would love to keep them myself. But she kind of helped me out a little bit and gave me a little goodie bag on the side for me, so that was kind of awesome. But yeah, so and I'm still continually making things and learning about things, and I plan on continuing to add to the list. All right, right now I'm over, holy gracious, I got quite a bit. All right, and I'm still making some other things too. I did a lot of the pre-work already on what I'm going to show you today, so it didn't take up a whole lot of time because it's really, really easy, and I can just tell you what I did. It's not rocket science. If you need more detailed info, though, just ask me in the comments, and I'll be glad to help. I got a lot of my info from watching other people, and when I get specific ideas, I will give credit to where I got the idea from. I don't steal other people's ideas and throw them off as my own. I can't stand it when I see people do that. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just common courtesy and etiquette, If you got an idea, you were inspired by somebody, even if you didn't do it exactly the way they did it, but the whole idea you got was from them. Well, yeah, you may not have used the exact same papers and the exact same paints and the exact same ink pens and pencils and whatever, but it was their idea that created that spark in you, right? So give credit where credit is due. That's all I'm saying. Okay, that's one of my pet. Yeesh. Okay, so my next project, I was doing a lot of like final touch-ups. Like some of the journals are only minimally embellished, and I thought, okay, what a great idea! I could put together an embellishment pack for some of them. So I cannot believe how long that took me. I mean, I've got a little bit of everything, and I even wrote down a list of everything I put in the ephemera packs, and it's quite a bit. And I'll probably add some more because I haven't gotten down to where I put all the little lace baggies yet, lace and fibers and stuff like that. But okay, on we go. All right, I've got another one which I just haven't done it yet. Okay, obviously these two are wine bottles. Okay, this one, I loved the green glass on it. Yeah, the green glass. Okay, this was an olive oil bottle from, actually, it was from the Olive Garden brand. I don't even remember where I got it from, but I loved the green. I loved just the squareness of the bottle. And I did a couple different techniques on all three of these. I've got one more bottle that will be in the auction, and that one I'm calling Diamonds and Pearls, the one that I don't have here yet. I just got, Dad helped me, but he helped me get the rest of the label off because it was one of those kind of high-end bottles of wine. And I swear they use liquid cement or something to keep their labels on, because I soaked that puppy overnight in degreaser. And we still had to use the steel wool to get the rest of it off. So that one's going to go through the dishwasher, you know, to sanitize it and clean off all the excess hand oils and things like that before I start on it. But the one that you don't see here, I'm calling it Diamonds and Pearls. So that'll give you a little bit of an idea of how that one's going to come out. Now, I was going to do this one in a certain style, and honestly, I don't have what I wanted to do to make it the way I wanted to. So I'm going to do this one kind of differently than what I originally planned. I was going to do this one in a Christmas theme, but I'm not going to do that now. This one, okay, prior to doing anything on them, I wipe them down with alcohol, all right, to get off any finger oils or anything like that. This one's got 2 coats of white acrylic paint on it, all right. There's no matte varnish on it or anything like that yet, all right. When I'm done, there will be. All right, so this has got 2 coats on it. And I let it dry overnight, okay. This one, you know when you do napkin art, how you pull the plies apart? You know, so when you decoupage, you're only using the top ply. Well, I always save those white plies that I pull off. And so I pulled those out. And I don't know if let me turn this just a little bit. There we go. Okay, you'll be able to see the texture on this as I turn the bottle. Okay. Now what I did was I cleaned it with alcohol. All right. Now you'll see some of the label through on this one, but you won't when I'm done. All right. So I Mod Podged napkins all over this bottle. All right. And I even used my paintbrush to make sure, let's see if you can see that. There we go. To make sure that, you know, the napkins stayed all wrinkled up and everything. All right, and I did about 2 coats of the napkin plies, okay, and let it dry overnight. And then yesterday I went ahead and did a white matte coat, just one, on this one. So all you see is the texture through it, which I think is kind of cool. Now, the first step on this one is the same thing. I've used the white napkin, you know, with the Mod Podge, and let it dry overnight. But when I worked on it yesterday, okay, you see how it looks black and gray and kind of dingy? There's a reason for that. It wasn't an accident. I did that on purpose. When it dried, I went ahead and painted the whole thing black, okay? And then I went over it with whatever was left of my white paint that I was using on these other 2 while the paint was still wet, all right? And I just kind of smushed it in and spread it and smeared it so it didn't look so much like, you know, I mean, there's like one spot in here that I didn't quite spread out or feather out as much as I would have liked to have, but it gave kind of a spooky and an eerie feel to it, right? Well, that's what I'm going to do with this one. This one's going to be a Halloween bottle. Yeah. And of course, my favorite guy is going to go on here. My favorite little doohickey guy. He reminds me of the Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven. And I know by the time I have the auction, you know, it being August, it'll be closer to the Halloween. So hopefully someone will like it. And since I've got the Halloween stuff on my desk, we'll go ahead and we'll work with this one first. Okay. So I'm going to lay this, decide where I want to put my image, because I wanted it to look kind of like a spooky, you know, atmospheric in the background. Well, I guess they're all the same pretty much. So we'll just do this one. All right, now, I love these napkins because look how many this is just half of the napkin. When I folded it open, I had 3 more. Or it could have been 9. That's how big it was. I got these at Tuesday mornings and I absolutely love them. So what I'm going to do, since I went ahead and, you know, cut it down the middle, or is it right here that I cut it? I don't remember. Yeah, but it got cut, so it's already separating. But these plies that you pull off, I keep those. All right? They're great for texture. Like if you want to add texture on a journal page or in a mixed media, you know, if you're doing it on a canvas, which I've got 2 canvases done. And I want to do a couple more. One of them is going to be a steampunk canvas. And one's going to be something different. All right. So what I want to do, I want him. All right. So let's put these aside. Okay. Now, whoa, I don't want to put that in the glue yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dip my paint in water, or my paintbrush in water, okay? And I'm just going to kind of outline my skeleton. It makes it a little bit, please tell me I did not put that, okay. I was going to say, I thought I put that in my glue. It's going to make it a little bit easier to pull off the excess, you know? Alrighty. So you can see, and it kind of keeps your tears where you want it. You know, where you don't have an accidental, whoops, I just ripped off his arm. Dang it. And I still want some of the background behind him. You know, only because I think it looks pretty cool. Oops, I missed a spot. There we go. Alrighty. And I'll keep these little pieces off to the side just in case, you know. And I'll set this guy aside. Probably have to do one on the back, but I might have another napkin that I can do. Alright, now I'm going to get my separate glue brush, okay? Like I use it for Mod Podge or spreading glue, or, you know. So what I'm going to do first is, this is my Mod Podge. I poured it in a separate container so I could actually, you know, hopefully make this work without tearing my napkin. Okay, so I just laid, and I'm not putting them all the way down to the bottom, okay? Because there's going to be, hopefully, because I'm kind of winging this as I go. Now, I'm doing this very, very delicately, okay? I don't want my napkin to rip, especially after going through all of that I did just to make, oops, like it almost did right there. You know, just to get this one image out. Now, it looks like it to you, it might be pulling up, you know, and making little puddles on here. But that's okay, because whatever this napkin won't soak up, the tissues underneath, because like I said, I haven't sealed it yet. This Mod Podge will do a good job at sealing, but it will also, the tissues underneath will also soak up any excess and help bind the napkin to the bottle. Alright. Now I'm just kind of going over a little bit and just laying some glue really lightly on top. I'm not even really pressing, like brushing it. I'm just putting it in there and kind of pressing it down with my napkin. If you find your napkins rip a lot, you don't have enough glue or Mod Podge on your brush, or you're using, you know, your strokes are just way too heavy. And I learned that the hard way too many times. Alright, so that's on one side. Jim, I might do another copy on the back, but right now I'm going to let him dry. We'll put that in there for now. So right there, I'm going to let him dry, and I'm going to start on the next one. Now this one, I'm hoping, will be shabby chic. Let me see, I've got my sprays that I made. I just need to get the one I want. Everything else is kind of in the way right now. I just need the right color. Nope, that's not it. Oh, there's my toothpaste. I had to open up a brand new one because I couldn't find that one. Okay, well, here's my gold shimmer. We'll take that. What is this one? No, I don't want yellow ochre. Antique linen. No, well, maybe. I'm trying to find the homemade one I mixed up myself. Honeysuckle, there it is. The honeysuckle pink and antique linen with alcohol. Let me find my bronze. There we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do, since this is fairly dry, okay, I'm getting my softest stencil brush. Let me open it and see if I'm not getting so much shadow. So it's still too bright. Alright. And what I'm going to do is, this is my homemade, okay? I got perfume on the bottom, okay, because when I originally mixed it, it was in I had a Bath and Body Works Japanese cherry blossom, right? It was in one of the big containers. Well, I thought I rinsed it out. I ran it to the dishwasher like 3 times, but I swear that perfume just soaked through and the plastic just ate it all up. So when I went to pour it out into a smaller container, like this one, it smelled so pretty. Usually, you know, acrylic paint doesn't smell all that great. But even when I made it, the beads I put in it should have been a little bit heavier. But I didn't have any of those zinc beads, you know, that they put in the bottom of spray paint or nail polish or anything like that. Let me see. That's not going to work. I need a plastic container. No, that's not going to work either. All right, let's use this one. I didn't want to use this one because it'll end up soaking up a lot of the paint. Now this one, I mixed it with antique white or antique linen, you know, so it's a very pale pink. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a couple, well, not a couple, I mean, I probably did about, what, 8 or 9, maybe 10? I don't know, I'll have to go back and watch the video to count it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here and I'm going to pounce it in pretty good. Alright. Now with stencil brushes, normally, okay, you take out the excess. Now what that's going to do is probably just soak out most of the alcohol. And then I'm just going to kind of add some pink pale. You can't really see it. Seal seems too bright. That's not even going to matter. Alright. Now you can't really see it like this. And honestly, I'm thinking I probably should have just did a dry rub on it. But, you know, kind of too late now. All I'm doing right now is just adding a little bit of, you know, like a dusty rose, mauve color, or mauve, however you want to say it. Okay. You know what? Let's see how it'll look if I just sprayed it. I just don't want it very concentrated in some spots, you know? Well, actually, it might work out pretty good because it'll drip a little and look even more kind of shabby chic, right? Here we go. That's kind of cool. Should have just done that in the first place, huh? Maybe it's the overhead. I still haven't got my lighting figured out, guys, and I really apologize for that. To me, it seems too bright, like you can't see anything. So let me see if that one helps. Not really, but that's okay. I can hold it up here. I don't know if you can see that very well. When I do the auction, though, listen to me. When I do hold the auction, it's not going to be in my bedroom. It'll be in a little bit of a softer light, I think. And the items will probably be a lot more noticeable. Okay, so let me just wipe this out. This is one of my new dies I got in the mail. I ordered it because one of my other dies, when you use it, it just kind of like does the inside. It doesn't cut it out. And I needed something, you know, and it did it in the shape of a heart. So I needed something that would actually cut out the heart part. Alrighty, so we've got the pink on there. Alright. I'm not going to use the antique linen. I don't know if I'm going to use the gold yet, but I do think I'm going to use bronze. This is Tattered Angels. Doesn't say what color. Oh, Jolly Red. Alright, I don't think that's the one I want. I have a bronze one that I think is really, really pretty. There's a bright pink. I don't want the bright pink. I don't want silver. Where did you... Oh, there it is. Okay, yes. No, we do not want jolly red. Sorry. Let me see. I got phthalo green. Or is it sap green? Nope, it's sap green. I'll add a little bit of that. It's really, really pale. It doesn't look that in the bottle, but trust me, when you use it, it's barely noticeable. Alright, now you're not supposed to shake it and do it bubbles, but sometimes I get impatient waiting for the, you know, the mica in it to... Alright. Okay. Now I'm going to jot this down. This one I really kind of don't want running. There we go. Okay. Before I add any more, oops, that one just totally missed. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry a little bit before I push it any further. Although it's drying pretty quick. Whoop, that didn't go there. That goes there. There's the other one. Okay, let me rinse this out real quick. Never leave your paintbrushes in water. Bad, bad, bad. If you have a brush, you know, one of those buckets that you clean your brushes on, it'll have the little hangers that you can hang your brushes up on, where you hang them down so any resulting liquid doesn't run up into the, up in the ferrule. I think that's the name of it. I forget. Might be a different name. I think it's the ferrule. You know, the base of the bristles where they attach themselves to the handle. This way, you know, you dry them face down like that. And if you can't, then you dry them on their side. You let them dry on their side. Alright, so let's put this. And since I've been using this to kind of clean up, it's one of those tissues. I'm going to go ahead and open it up so it doesn't dry into a mess. And when that dries, that'll be kind of pretty. It'll have them different colors on it. That rose dusty pink and then the bronze. Put that over here. Okay. I think our air conditioner went out. So I've not been able to sleep. It's been too hot. Okay, so I'll put these aside. So I know I already used those. I'm not going to use those. Ooh, when that bronze shimmer dries, actually I can't leave that there. I don't know if you can see the shimmer on it. Not really. But up close, it's really pretty. It really is. And it's got that pink and Victorian look to it. I'm going to add a little bit of sap green to it, because this green, when you spray it out, okay, for example, I keep envelopes, you know, on my desk. So when I'm testing a spray or if I have any leftover paint, I'll put it on envelopes. That way I can gradually decorate them. See, it's really, really faint. But when it dries, there's enough there that you can tell there's a little bit of green on it. The paint I used was watercolor. That's why it says H2O sap green. Watercolor sap green. And it's mixed with water. So just as a kind of a little thing. Okay. And I think that's going to be about all the color I put on it for now. Yeah, that looks good in the light, even if you can't. Wait a minute. No, I need a little bit of green on this side. There we go. Okay, even if you can't see it in the camera, which I hope you can, but, you know, with the way my luck has been going, you know, not much has been going really good. So it's one of those weeks, I guess. I don't know. So we'll set that one aside. And I will wet this up and put that over there. All right. Nope, that's still wet. So we are going to leave that one there. We're going to leave this one here. And we're going to start working on the other one. Now this one, since that one's going to be shabby chic, I'm not quite sure how I want to do this one. If I just want to cover it all in flowers, or if I want to, you know, just do it in pieces. I like this one better. Yeah, see, that bluebird would look really pretty with that. All right, so these are the designs I'm going to use on this bottle. Isn't that pretty? Absolutely love it. So let's set this one aside. For just a minute, I'm pulling my brush out, make it available. I have no idea where my little brush just went. I think I covered it up. Huh. I must have. Either that or I actually put it away. No, I don't see it, so it's covered. Oh well, I'll find it in a minute. And if not, then we'll just do it the hard way. Put that in my lap. See, I already used this one once. But that's one of the things I love so much about these big napkins like this. It even gives me 2 different designs to choose from. Well, 3 actually. This one looks like a tulip straight up and down. This one looks like a tulip that's kind of bent over with a butterfly. And this one is a tulip that hasn't even opened yet. They look like tulips to me. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to use a little pair. So this gives me quite a few options, you know, to put on the bottle. Now, I would love to be able to put this background on too. I just don't know if I'll be able to do it and get away with it and not make it look, you know, chinky. Let's see. Yeah, I just kind of wouldn't be able to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull the plies off first, even though it would be a lot easier to cut it with the plies on, only because, you know, I reuse my plies. So I take a little bit of extra aggravation to, come on, open up. Get down here then. I know this one's got 3, or it's a 3-ply napkin. There it is. It's got 2 plies I pull off, and then the top ply I keep. There we go. See? Got two extra plies to it. Now this, I might even be able to keep this as a border for either the top or the bottom. I'm not sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this bottom part off in case I decide to use it as a trim on the bottle. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but and since that's the case, I'll just go ahead and cut this off now while I'm here. Maybe this piece will fit all around the base of the bottle and I don't have to worry about trying to piece it together. Okay. So this one's got a couple of different pieces on it. You know, it's got looks like a stamp from Belgium. It says Belgique. Belgique? I'm not even sure. It's all in French. So, alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and semi-fussy cut this. It's a lot easier. It would be a lot easier if it was on a white background because the background on the bottle is white. I should have cut these out before I started. It's kind of hard to do when you're not quite sure what you're going to do until you sit down, you know? There. I am going to try and add some of these butterflies to it, though. So what are you guys doing today? I'm not doing a live right now, so it's kind of hard for me to really get that answer from you, but, you know, hey. If you saw a really cool video, you know, about decorating wine bottles and stuff, I saw this one, and it looked like, okay, I'm not very good with languages. I know French. I know what some look like, okay? But when you get to Russia or, you know, I don't even know if they speak, do they speak Russia or Russian in like Czechoslovakia or Prague or, you know, someplace like that. Anyways, but it looked like Russian to me. You know, the words under the video, and it had subtitles in English. And it was one of those speed through videos that they do, and they just show you and they just speed through everything, which I wish I knew how to do, because honestly that looks like it would probably be so much easier for anybody else who wanted to watch us and didn't want to sit here while I piddle farted through cutting napkins up. But that's okay. Me, I don't like so much watching a sped through video like that, because I like to understand. I have to know the why. That's why I always sucked at math. Because in math, there is no why. It just is. And my brain could not handle that. I mean, I got your basic math and everything. I'm not like a total dummy. I went through pre-algebra and algebra 1. And then I left it at that. And then, like, I did statistics for my college major because that was required. And that was fine, you know, because that was math, but it was a different kind of math. And there was a why behind it in statistics. So I got that. I got a B in statistics, as a matter of fact. So that's pretty good. I didn't graduate, you know, I don't know if it's magna cum laude or summa cum laude. I just graduated cum laude, but I did graduate with honors. So I do still have my honors cords. Oh, I really don't like this. Now I know why people just tear them. Because this is a royal pain in the buttocks. Let me tell ya. I'm not even going to bother cutting out that other one. I may not even cut out the others. Or if I do, it'll be with the plies on them because I just don't have the patience, I don't think, to fussy cut. I'm just not good at fussy cut. Because I'll start off, I'll have really good motives and, it'll start off looking really good. And about halfway through, I'm like, ah, screw it. I'm done. I don't know. Okay, I think that's about as good as I'm going to get with this one. And let's see what we can do with it. Try and cut off at least some of the excess. I'm wondering. We'll put that up there. Honestly, I'm thinking about just cutting that off. I might still use it. I'm just kind of... Yeah, you know me. I've got no patience, so guess what? Well, for certain things, I do. I can be the most patient. But I've seen so many, people try or do this, and it always comes out looking so beautiful. And I thought, yeah, I could probably do that. Well, no, I'm not real good at this. So what I'm going to do is just kind of wing it. Okay? And I can probably use, some paints and some glazes to help feather out any, dramatic lines. Alright, so yeah, see, I don't like that. I don't like the model work. I don't like the straight line. Like the corners. So I'm going to just kind of trim out that butterfly a little bit. Let's see, where did that other piece go? And of course it does not go all the way around. Look at that. It probably would if I did the whole, the whole piece, but let me see. Well, I only got 2 pieces left on that one, so we'll have to piece it. Ha ha ha. Okay, we'll do that first. Oh, come on. Of course, when I cut it off, I cut off the dotted stuff where the machine actually presses the plies together. And that's what keeps them from falling apart. So, of course, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get both plies off. But if you don't, it will look, you will be able to tell a difference, which doesn't make sense to me, but you can. I'm about ready to give it up. Let's see. Go up just a little bit on that. Yeah, I think I can do that. I'm just going to there. I started at one end. And hope it doesn't shift. That's what that's what it wants to do. Oh, come on. Of course, that wants to roll. All right, there we go. I'm going to make sure this is still wet. So I don't tear my napkin, which I almost did. No, 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 don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll be pretty. And then this piece, I'm just going to fit it right over top. You should not be able to see. And if you do, it's very, very faint. And that's only because I couldn't line it up very well. But that's okay. I was able to put up my 750 video, subby video. When I looked this morning, I was at 744. So I went ahead and put that up. Kind of showed a little bit, some of what was going to be in the giveaway, you know. Alrighty. Now what I would caution you against when you're doing Mod Podge over acrylic paint on glass, you know, if you're not using glass paint and you haven't prepared the glass, your acrylic paint will try to run or come off or smear. So you want to be kind of careful as you're putting your glue on so that it doesn't take your paint off as well. Alright, now all I'm doing right here is very carefully and gently pressing this down into the glue that I just put on. I keep forgetting I have it in my lap. And then I'm going to put a very easy coat across the top, and I'm not going off too far because there's already a little bit of glue already there, and I don't want it to penetrate the paint that's on there. Okay, so I'm just kind of pushing that out a little. There we go. Okay, so that's that so far. I don't know if you can see that all right. Okay, now with the one that I cut off, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of like tack it in here so it looks like a second one coming behind the same branch. Like I said, I'm trying to be really careful about, see that right there? I'm just going to kind of tuck that in and down a little bit. See that? And I'm just barely putting any on the top. Okay. Just a second. And what I need to do is take off some of this stem so I can use it. So it doesn't look too bad. There we go. There, now it's got the second stem. And let's trim out. Let's see, this one's on this side, so it's going to be facing it. Now, hopefully, after I get this part done, you know, with the images, obviously, I mean, not obviously, but I'm not going to leave it just with the images. I'm going to wait until they dry, and then I'm going to, I'll probably put some lace or something on it, you know, give it a little bit of a, put that right up here, actually. So it looks like it's continuous. Continuous. Good grief. Continuous. Yes. I'm just telling you guys I graduated with honors and I can't even speak. Well, that's part of why I'm doing the auction. It's my inability to speak anymore stems from the fact that I'm missing all my top teeth in front, and it's very difficult to learn how to talk again. You can't say words like the and F, you know, different words like that, because you don't have the teeth there to help you enunciate. So that one's facing that way. Just, oh, I didn't need to do that yet. Alright. Okay, that butterfly is there. So let's put this one here. No, 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 no. There we go. Still didn't get all the water. Oh, no! Good grief. And, of course, I stuck my finger in it, which made it rip. Oh, I'm just having a day. Maybe I probably ought to go to bed. Try and get some of that elusive sleep that some people are able to manage. There we go. Oh no. Yeah, see, it got wet and it started to peel, started to bubble up. So I got a dot. That I'll have to cover. Which shouldn't be too much of a problem, I hope. Let's see. Now, these people who were just laying this stuff on didn't say anything about trying to seal the bottle prior to. They just did all of this, said it would work, and then when you were done, you would seal it. But of course, they also look like they've been doing this for quite a long time. Me, on the other hand, I think this is the first time I've actually decoupaged onto a bottle. Usually I'll decorate it, but I'll decorate it with like external things, you know, like I'll add lace, or I'll, you know, like I'll put a frame or something and tie ribbons and pearls hanging or whatever. But all right, let's see. We need something right here. Yeah, we need something right there. And we'll do the 2 open butterflies. And then we will set this one aside and let it dry before we do anything else. So I figure if I can get most of it off, the rest I can just kind of fake it till I make it, right? Isn't that what we're supposed to do? We do that. Most of us do that in life, don't we? We fake it until we make it. Yeah. Okay. Kind of pull this out a little bit so that we don't lose it in the background. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. I want the focus to be on the flowers, not... Even though the background kind of makes the whole image, you know, the imagery together. It does to me anyway. But yeah. So what I'm going to do is add some more glue. It's probably not a good idea, since doing so may... Well, yeah, let's do that. Okay. I kind of pressed it in the middle with my finger and brought it right up to the edge where this little... There we go. Where this little flower is that I put in there. That way, it kind of met up with that second flower right there, but it didn't overlap it, so that's good. Down here is where I kind of messed up a little, but that's all right. Yeah, when this dries, we will finish with that one. Let's see, is that one dry yet? Most of the way, but you know what? Look at that. Because it's soaked into the back, you can't hardly see them. That's a bummer. Okay, I really liked this. I really hope this was a little bit more sturdy. But maybe I can just use it as a really good, like, background or something and put something else in front of that. Don't know, but I'll figure it out. I've got some other things I was going to use, and maybe when I put them all together, they'll work out. Kind of disappointed, though. I really like that skeleton image. Maybe if I hadn't painted it black, it wouldn't, you know, disappear like that. But it did, so... Lesson learned. Well, don't blow away, okay? Just don't do it. Kind of tilt him up a little bit this way. There we go. Put a little bit of Mod Podge on top of him. See, with the Mod Podge on it, it's making the paint sweat. I wonder why. I've never seen that happen. Kind of cool looking, but still, kind of wanted it smooth. There we go. Probably time to use a different brush for the top part. Yeah. That one's lifted, so actually let me see if I can just kind of dab it. There we go. I don't want to have to squeeze out the brush all over again. Okay, so far on this one, we've got the one flower, we got the butterfly on top, we've got two flowers right there with more butterflies, little bitty flowers. Now we're going to let this dry and see if I need to feather out with some, you know, like an antique linen, just to kind of blend those two together. But we're going to let this one dry for now. I'm going to put that in the water and let that rinse. And actually, I am going to go ahead and just throw these little pieces out. My fan is blowing them all over, and I can't be in here and not have a fan. It's just too daggum hot. Okay, so we're going to let this one set so it dries. This one is pretty dry. We can probably work on it. I do have my glue gun. The Halloween one, I don't quite know what I'm going to do with that one yet. So let's put that right there. And move some stuff there. Oi. Okay. Now let's see what we can do with this. We have any images to use or not. Actually, I kind of like the idea of just putting the lace and the pearls and stuff on it. There's that one. That's a really wide one. I don't know if we need one that wide. But actually, that does look kind of cool. You know? Like as a wide base on the bottom. And then we can put flowers on it or something. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Okay. Put this down. Oh, you know what? I was going to seal this before I put any. Alright. Well, this was probably the most boring video I've ever done. But since I need to seal these, or at least this one, it's going to have to set for a few hours before I can get back to it. Alright, well, let me pause this. I will go seal it, and then that way when I come back, I can continue it, and you guys won't be waiting that long, obviously, because that would really, really stink. Anyways, but okay, guys, I'm going to pause this for now. I'm going to go outside and seal this bottle, and I will be back in just a flat. Hey guys, I'm back. While I was waiting for the stuff to dry, this is what I use. I wanted to show you guys. It's Rust-Oleum's. It's 2 times Ultra Cover. I usually only need 1 coat. It's a matte clear. Okay, it seals, protects, and it says revitalizes, but I don't know about that. I like the seals and protects. I got a matte, okay, which means it's not a glossy. I'll eventually get one of those high gloss ones because there are some projects I need that on. But so far, everything I've done, I haven't needed a high gloss on. I've just needed a matte. So while I was at it, I went ahead and sealed my canvases. So those are ready to go now. And it was kind of a good thing we took a break anyways, because I pulled another thing, same thing I did the other day. I think it's just because my plug is so loose. I thought my glue gun was plugged in. Nope. My foot pulled it out of the plug. So, we had decided, well, I had decided, I kind of like this down here, like this. And you can still see the color through this. There's a, oh man. Let's see if you guys can see that any better. This is a cream colored lace. It's like a heavy cream. It's not an off-white. It's a pretty good heavy cream. And you can see the pink and the other colors underneath, but it's very subtle. So that's a good thing. Even though a lot of people take shabby chic to the extreme, I believe it should be subtle. You know, because it's supposed to be delicate and soft and, you know, kind of Victorian and very, very pretty. Feminine, you know? But I see a lot of people just go absolutely buck crazy. And I don't get it, you know? I mean, 200 pounds of lace and a couple of buttons. That's just way much overkill for me. But you don't see me do a lot of shabby chic either because it's not really my style. Ouch! My favorite style for decor is like the Italian Renaissance, the Baroque. If you're in my Facebook group, you know, one of the things that I first said when we started our groups or our events is, you know, my favorite style. I think it was on Favorite Fridays. Is, you know, the Italian Renaissance, Baroque. And that's just, I love the colors. I love the richness. I love the reds, the golds, the browns. I hope I got that on there fast enough. That's just my style. Now, I'm not even sure what my kids' styles are. My son, I think he just doesn't care as long as, you know, he gets a say on the color scheme, you know, because that's just his thing. It's a personal preference with him. Sorry, it's a cinnamon raisin bagel. It's 9:30 in the morning and I haven't eaten since, last night sometime. And it's just a bagel. You know, I don't really toast it. I don't, sometimes I'll put cream cheese on it. But see, now what I did was I put the glue line all the way up to the very edge. See, look at that. I am woman, hear me roar, rawr. I put the glue up to the very edge, so when I cut it, it's already sealed. And hopefully that is not too, well, that little bump is too noticeable. That little thing right there. There we go. And I don't know if I want to do another layer and kind of like stagger it up. No, I really don't. I might, but probably not. Anyways, but that's the lace across the bottom. So, let's see what else we can use. I'll put that away in a minute. I've got this whole bag of goodies and scraps and things like that. Let's see. I like that. That's kind of Victorian-ish. Let's see. Here's some pink ribbon. That's Victorian. It's mixed in with white. That's okay. No, really, I don't know how much I'll need, so I'm just cutting it right there. I feel like dealing with the tangle. Alrighty, let's see. Ooh, we've got some green with some tassels that matches that sap green. See that? Oh, that'd be kind of cool down here. Oh, I wish I had enough to go all the way around. That would be fabulous. And then I've got some of this, which is little strands of seed bead. They're seed beads, okay, in a fringe on what feels like denim. So that's kind of cool. I like that. And then we've got some French braid, which I really like. But we don't have a whole lot of color so far. So let me see. Ooh, here's some more green. It's really pretty. No idea what to do with that, but it might look good on the bottle. I don't know. We will just see, won't we? Okay, well, let's work with kind of what we've got. I don't know if we should add any peach to it or not. I don't think that'll match. So let's work with this. See what we can do with it. We still got some more lace, which I know we're going to need some, but I really like this. I might put this around the neck. Actually, I like that idea. I'm going to put it around up here at the very, very top, but I'll do that last. That's about the only spot I think it'll fit and go all the way around. Okay, let's see. I don't know. This is really cool trim, but I don't know what to do with it, you know? That looks like it's been all kind of Pull that off. No, that's kind of too fat. I don't really like that. Okay. Hey, back up. There we go. Oh, pull, pull, pull. Alrighty. Let's see. Yes, French braid. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. It's a very light, like a coffee color. Or taupe. You know, whichever you want. I like coffee, so I'll say it's a light coffee color. At least if I pulled some out earlier because I figured I would go through a lot of glue on this one. Alright, so where do we want to put this? Well, but before we do, let's determine if we're going to use this or not. I really, really like that. I really do. How high we want to go with it. Let's see. Come on, what do you think? Well, you can't really tell. All right, I'm going to grab the camera, so don't get seasick, okay? I really apologize. I will try to do this as smoothly as possible so that you can see that. So what do you think? Yeah, that's my mess on the floor back there. I haven't finished. I'm working on it, but I haven't finished. Okay? So let's now put you back up here and make sure you're... I don't know. I like it, but it doesn't really match. Let me see. Now this I know will match because this is definitely Victorian. I bought, when my granddaughter was born, Madison, the other grandma and I got together and she bought all the bedding for the crib and I bought all the paint and the decorations and the dresser and stuff for the bedroom as we did the nursery. And so she bought all the bedding and I bought a lamp that I took the lampshade off, got a plain white one, and decorated it myself. I decoupaged tissue paper that matched. It was like natural. Okay, I like that better. It doesn't cover so much. But yeah, it was like, you know, handmade paper type stuff with organic, like leaves and grasses and things like that in it. So I decoupaged her lampshade with that, and it was in the colors, you know, that matched her room, as well as this was. And this was the fringe I put in the inside edge. This is left over from what it was. The underneath the inside edge of the lampshade at the bottom. So she had her own little fringy lampshade, you know. I mean, she was brand new, born, or she had just been born, so, you know. But then, you know, I painted the dresser and the lampshade in the same pink that her bedding was in. It was like pinks and maroons, and it was really pretty. And we took her crib quilt up to Sherwin-Williams, and they matched one of the colors in her crib quilt to a paint. You know, they mixed a paint for me. And so I did the base of the lamp in that same thing, and I painted the entire dresser. I took off the knobs on the dresser, and I painted little wooden ABC blocks, right? In the other two complementary colors that were in her blanket, which was a faded green and a pale yellow. That was really pretty. I don't think no, because I was just doing, like the wedding stuff and baby showers and stuff. I mean, I did my daughter's wedding invitations by hand, and um, yeah, that was a nightmare. Not the wedding invitations, but the whole. Um, it's October 3rd. Yes, Mom, we want to get married on December 3rd, and we want a full formal. So, if any of you out there have ever planned a wedding and it's a full formal, you must know, okay, how hard it is to rent a hall or, get a hold of a church. Which we ended up doing at his mom's church, the other grandma's church, at the last minute because, I mean, we couldn't get a DJ. We couldn't get a caterer booked. I had to make all the food and all the drinks. I did have a friend who worked in the bakery at a local grocery store. She did the cakes for me. The groom's cake, the wedding shower cake, the baby shower cake, and the wedding cake. She did all of those for me. So that was a blessing. The hall we rented for the reception was like in the basement underneath a barber. I mean, it was a pretty nice place. They called it the Manhattan Room. And, the hotels around us wanted to charge, it was like $35 a head. That was just for the food and the drinks. And then it was going to be another like $1,500 or $1,600 for the for them, to set everything up and provide the music. I mean, it was really crazy. On top of, the wedding shower, the baby shower, all getting done, before the wedding, on top of trying to plan a full formal. Holy moly. Let's see. So they got married on December 3rd. I thought I was going to die because, we had to carry all that stuff down into the basement. And nobody was doing their responsibility, like the groomsman or the best man. He was supposed to take care of the cake or the keg or whatever, I guess because they were drinking at the party or at the reception. And I made punch. I mean, it was a good punch, but I made punch. I need to put a little dab of glue so that doesn't unravel. Because it's the little tassels. Where are they? There they are. Okay. The little tassels are, beads and crystals. And then it's sewn on to the bottom of a ribbon. Alright, so just put that in there for now. Alright, so we got that little bitty fringe on, which I really like. And let's see. Are we going to put this? No, that's already pink, so no, that's the wrong color. Good grief, excuse me. Lots of defect in the fabric. Let's see. I'm going to use the same fabric, or the same lace, but I'm going to cut it in half. So it'll follow the same aesthetic and the same pattern as the other lace, but it will look like a different lace. You can do this with a lot of your laces. You know, if you've got a wide lace that you really just, you know, you got it because it looks so pretty in the picture, and then kind of sits in a tub somewhere because you really don't know what to do with something, you know, that wide. I found myself with a lot of laces that way. And so I started, you know, I would cut, either I would cut out the patterns, or, see, this one had a little, like a defect or something that I didn't notice. So we'll use this half. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of like that. Bring that down just a little bit. Alrighty. So, it's really hard to do this when you don't have to. Yeah. Okay, that never works for me. Let's see, that did. How come? I think I'll have to do that again. Yep. Oh, come on. This is a brand new glue gun. There we go. I'm just going to push it and fake it till I make it, right? Alrighty. Now, if I can get it over here before it dries. There we go. Alright. I did something. Looks like I'm just going to have to push it until I get past the major malfunction in the glue stick. So let's open this up a little bit. Come on, what in the heck? There we go. Okay. Yeah, this is seriously not funny. Especially, I don't have backup. I know what happened. You know, some people suggest to go ahead and, you know, like add hot glue to the end of your glue stick so you'll get a seamless, and apparently I didn't do mine right, and honestly I would rather just put it put it in and then use my chin like I've been doing for the last 30 years, you know? Yeah, I have no idea how this is going to work until we get through this one glue stick. There we go. Okay, this is going to hurt. Rub it off as fast as I can. It won't stick to my skin, you know? Tell you what, you can get some serious burns with a glue gun. I've known people that has taken layers of their skin off. I mean layers, where it was pretty much close to a third-degree burn. Okay, I think it's, yeah, there we go. Okay, I got it past its little booger. And let's, ow, ow, ow. Let's see if that will help. Okay, why does that seem so much higher than the rest? Okay, well, we'll figure it out when we get there, right? I'm just glad we got past the having to push it. This is not a salt and pepper video. Okay, yeah, I just aged myself, so don't say anything. I used to love that song. I used to love it because my brother and I, he was little, and he grew up with his dad. I grew up with mine. He's about 5 years younger than me. So, you know, he was about 10 years old, or 9 or 10 years old when that song came out. And he liked it too. He thought it was awesome that his big sister, who was in high school, you know, knew this song and could sing it with him. So that was kind of cool. I don't know, just little things that make you think of the good things about being a child. Because I know when I was a child, not much was good. Okay. So now that we got that little piece on there, I really wish it would. Okay. Well, anyway. Now, okay. This French braid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on this side, because when you cut it, it really wants to unravel. Alright, and I don't want to do that. So a little bit past where I need to cut, I'm putting some glue on it. Hot glue. I don't know if this stuff is flammable, or I would just use my lighter. but I'm going to use those. Okay, we will pull out our Tim Holtz scissors that I try and try and try very, very hard never to use because I don't want it. I don't want them to ever go dull, even though they're not ever supposed to. But they always say that, don't they? Oh, you'll never have to sharpen this knife again for the rest of your known natural life. Lifetime guarantee. Yeah, right. Okay. Never knew any of those to ever work. Cut that off. And I will start it right there. Ow. Okay, that came right through. Now, all I'm doing right now is kind of putting a bottom layer on. And then, this is probably why Shabby Chic is always so busy to me. Because even Shabby Chic, like mixed media or steampunk or anything like that, it's... excuse me. Oh my gosh. It's all about the layers. All right? Yeah, Stacy will laugh at that one. At least I didn't fart. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We went to our poodle mama's house. A couple of us did anyway. From the Pink Poodle Pack for New Year's Eve. And those of you who are watching that remember that, oh gosh, I was so embarrassed when I watched it the next day. Yeah. I cannot believe I got as hammered as I did. But it'd been like 11 years since I'd gone out. So, I mean, we had a bottle of champagne. You know, they were making their own drinks, and I brought, you know, some stuff. I brought, like, Boone's Farm, okay? Yeah, that's how long it's been since I've had anything to drink. But they were making their own, and I ended up drinking both my bottles of wine. And after we toasted at midnight, I think I drank the rest of the champagne. And, yeah, I was a bit woohoo. Alright, I'm going to pull that back up just a little. Okay. And it looks like I'm not going to keep that little piece because it'll unravel all the hell. Okay. There we go so far. Okay. Put this up. Put this over here. And maybe instead of waiting, maybe if I did it before it ended up down in the channel, I might not get it off-centered like I did last time. There, that should do it. Okay, let's put that in there for now. Figure out what we're going to do on the next layer. I have another piece of this, but it's getting to be a little... I think maybe I should have put the second piece of lace on there and then put that French braid over it. Let's see. I guess we can do that. We'll do it on this side so that little thingy won't show. Oh, I don't want to do it in the same spot. Show up in the same spot anyway, isn't it? All right. Well, this is probably, I don't know, what do you guys think? Shabby chic is not my thing. So if I do this all wrong, you know, I'm sure somebody will say something. Which is cool. Ouch. Ow. Okay, did it again. Did it again. Did it again. Now I'm going to pop this out. I have my fabric cutting scissors out that I only cut fabric with. But with all this hot glue around, I do not want to mess these up. Even though it says Extreme Edge Titanium from Westcott. I was tired of, you know, going to cut fabric or something with the only one pair of scissors that I owned and having such a hard time with it. I'm like, this just can't be, you know? Okay, now I gotta figure out what our next layer up is gonna be. I wonder if I should do it. No, it won't match. Okay, well, I'm gonna give it about another 20 minutes. And then I'll probably put it up because I really don't know what else to do with it. And I'll have to sit back and look at it for a little while. I can use these. That'd be pretty. If I can get it out of that tassel. Thank you. Oh yeah, that'll be pretty. Okay. Let's see. Alright, actually, I'm just going to go ahead and lay this down. Do it that way. That way. I'm really liking this bottle, and I'm not a shabby chic person. But this bottle's looking really cool. Especially once I added these little pearly things. That was really pretty, though. And it's almost perfect size, so told you I had a bag of bits and bobs. You know, just little stray pieces, and then every once in a while I'll just have like something will come in the mail and I don't feel like digging my lace bucket out. So I'll just chunk it in there, and then when I get around to it, you know, I'll put it where it belongs. But most of that is just like the last 6 or 8 inches on a measurement of yarn or lace or fabric or fibers or whatever. Say, like, you know, you got just that little bit left. Whoops. I'll leave it down there. You see it better than in my hand. I'm not going to throw that out. That might work good on a tag or an ATC or something like that. You know, it's probably maybe 2 inches long. And in fact, instead of putting it back in the bag, I'll stick it up in my little drawer. There. All right. So let's put that in there and down. There we go. And we're almost ready. Almost ready. Oh, I'm probably going to have to cut some more of that lace. But that's okay. Because I can't very well put a big piece on there. And I don't have any out that matches, so... Probably will not need any more of those. I really need to put those butterflies somewhere. I just don't have any place to put them right now. My organization in my craft room, yeah, that's what you want to call it, right? Oh, goodness, excuse me. Has been something of a big contentious thing for me, because I've kind of got it in my mind what I want to do to finish it up. I've got a very, very small place, so storage is being done very creatively. I mean, I've got like bookshelves on top of an entertainment center, on top of slow, but yeah. Okay, that's not gonna do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this next part off, but I'm going to make sure I leave this top, you see this right here? This top ledge on there. I'm not cutting that little top piece off because I'll need something to glue it to. I need to cut it in half again because the bottle's starting to curve inwards, and the wider lace isn't going to lay flat without a whole bunch of cuts in it, and I don't want to do that. Not on crocheted lace. Yeah, this is not nylon. This is actual crocheted cloth, which I'm having a hard time keeping from fraying as I maneuver it on the bottle. So, alright. And if I left that there, I'm hoping that'll help keep it from fraying. Let's see. Ah, perfect. I think I'm still going to have to do a little bit of tucking, but not as bad as it would have for a great big piece. So that's what I'm going to do. Ow! Alright, not funny. Yes, I know. My spatula's right here. Okay, I just never use it. I said I'm impatient when I'm crafting because I'm afraid I'll forget an idea or, I don't know, something. So what I'm going to do is I'm not even going to bother gluing the top yet because I don't know how the lace is going to lay. Because you see how the bottle's starting to slope now? Let me get my hand out of the way so you can see it. And it's lifting. The lace is lifting right there. So I'm going to make sure I secure the bottom, and then I'll go back around and tuck and glue and where I need to for the top piece. for the top edge, rather, sorry. Okay. Let's see. Go ahead and glue this corner down. Only because, now this one I am going to use the spatula on because I left a bigger bump there than I meant to, or a bigger blob of glue than I meant to. I was not sticking my finger in that. Sorry. That's what she said, right? Okay. So, let's see. Do just a tiny dab there. That's not as bad as I thought it would be. Ow! Yeah, I did it again, okay? Oh, you know what else would happen? I have those little, you know, those little silicone finger guides or guards from Plaid, Mod Podge, Plaid, whatever. And be so daggum funny because I'd put it on this finger and then I would just stop using that finger. I would start using the other ones. And when I'd start burning these, I'd move it over and say, okay, fine. And then I'd go back to using this. So it was like it was always in my way. And subconsciously, I would just not use that finger because it was already busy. Yeah, I know, I'm a mess. Can't help it. I was drawn that way. Okay. Let's put the glue gun out of the way for a minute. Figure out what we want to do because I still want to put this around the top. Or maybe I just put it, no, because it's got to be kind of straight. It won't work on an angled piece. There we go. What's that? I think that's pretty cool. I know you're thinking, oh my gosh, what's wrong with her? Okay, let me trim that really quick and put some glue right here. There. No, I don't want that there. I have to do it right there. Holy moly. There we go. Right there. Move that big glue glob off that I put on there to start it. Oh, what's wrong with me? There. Okay. So does anybody have any special plans for the summer? I don't. I was going to go see my daughter in Texas and spend a couple weeks with her, or a month, or however long, you know, she was going to keep her son before she had to bring him back. And, but my grandpa isn't doing really well. They called hospice in, so we went and seen him just before my daughter came down, you know, to kind of check the situation out. And yeah, I don't know, you know, so I didn't want to be in Texas when, or if, you know, he was due to pass anytime soon, because I couldn't do that to him. You know, and not knowing kind of what's going on makes it a little difficult to make plans of that nature. Okay, let me put this down. I'm going to cut. There we go. That. I've got one tassel hanging by a thread. Let me pull that thread out. There, now I've got a half a tassel. And a little bitty. Let me cut this off. There. It's just like one little bitty whatever it is. So let me see. There. I'll put it right there and kind of make up for the space that I'm missing a tassel because of the way it measured out. There we go. Alrighty, now I need something to lift this up and over. There we go. Lift that up and over. Yeah. Oops, no, stay out of the way. Okay. Oh, now see, there's another spot right there. And there's two tassels here. So I don't get it. So let's do this. We're gonna try and fake it till we make it, right? Alright, so that's there. I'm guessing I really didn't need to put that there. Well, okay, so now we got two tassels. I'll figure something out. I always do. Eventually. Okay, I got a few more minutes before I go ahead and call this one because, like I said, I don't want to be on here for 2 hours or, more than 2 hours because it would get really, really boring. It's already, I think, boring. Today's not a good day, I guess. But I'm having fun. I'm glad to be able to share this with you because this is going to be one of the items that's going to be on or in my auction. So, okay, I forgot we've got this pink ribbon here that I think I'm going to put it around, yeah, I'm going to put it around the green. Only because it needs a little bit of something. Put that right in, whoops, in the middle. There we go. Keep the tassels out of the way. Ow, dang it. You weren't supposed to spooge out the sides. Dang it. Okay, we'll put a little bitty dot right there and a little bitty dot under the ledge of this one. Push that down, push that down. Ow. Okay. Now what that did was it also kind of balanced out the bottle just a little bit because we've got, the pink accents down here and we've got the cream, the coffee, the cream, the pearl, the cream, and the green. So we needed to bring a little bit more pink back up to the top. And I'm wondering if I shouldn't. I wonder if I can get away with doing, no, that wouldn't look right. Let's do a pink ribbon around the lip. Let's see how that looks. couple more minutes. I may come back later and do another video finishing up the Halloween one, but probably not, only because I'm going to take some time and kind of figure out what I'm going to do with it. What I might do is I might just paint over it, you know, a whole different color and do something else with it. But I really wanted to do, I couldn't figure out how to get away with doing a steampunk one. I mean, because, steampunk and wine bottles, they just don't quite seem to, you know, to jive. So there we go. Put a little bitty da-da-da right there. Okay. There we go. On that note, I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm going to go ahead and pull the camera down a little. See if I can put something behind it and give you guys a better. No, it'll have to be there. Let's try that. We'll put this back up. All right. Now, I'm going to there. Okay. From the top, this is where I'm at so far. All right. And then we're going down. Obviously. Duh. And then there's the bottom. So I'm thinking about putting some flowers or something on it. Because it's supposed to be shabby chic, right? You can't do shabby chic without flowers. But I'm not going to do that right now. Actually, right now, I am probably going to try to go lay down and take a nap. But thank you for spending these few hours with me. If you haven't, give me a thumbs up, please. Do it that way. Yeah, now you can see my thumbs. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. I know I was kind of a bit down key today. Usually I'm a little bit more hyper, but I've been going for a while. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I do a lot of giveaways. In fact, right now I'm in the middle of a giveaway for my 750 sub mark. Okay. This morning when I looked, I was at 744. So I went ahead and did the video of what the winner's going to get when I do my drawing next week. And so yeah, and there's even a special drawing that if you are exactly the 750th subscriber, you automatically win. So I thought that was kind of a neat incentive. Remember, I'm going to have my auction on August 4th. It's a Saturday. I don't remember if it's 3 o'clock. I think it's 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. It's to help raise money so I can get some teeth back in my mouth. I don't have dental insurance because, you know, the government can't afford that. They can afford $10,000 gold toilet seats, but they can't afford to put the people on their Social Security. You know, dentures. Anyway, but on that note, I'm going to let you go. I hope to see you on my giveaway. And if not, I hope to see you on another video. And if you're interested in any of the things I might have check out my auction. It'll be on my YouTube channel, Coffee Cup Crafts with Kelly, on August 4th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. And there will be giveaways going on throughout, the auction too. So, kind of like a random number generator or something like that. But have a great day and God bless you. Thank you. Bye, guys.